Hi, everyone, and welcome to the second in our part two of our learning series. This one's focusing, this is part two, on Google Slides. My name is David Carruthers, and I'm a member of the GEG Ontario team. And thank you for joining us this evening. Just so if you don't know, the Google Educator Groups are communities of educators who learn, share, and inspire each other to meet the needs of their students through technology solutions, both in the classroom and beyond. So my team is going to go through in a moment and introduce themselves, but I just want to give a shout out to Marie Andre, who couldn't join us tonight, unfortunately. I'm sure she'll be returning for our next, in our learning series, coming a little bit later this spring. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to my colleagues so they can introduce themselves to you.
All right, and I will start. Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Cassatod. I am a teacher librarian from Aurora at Cardinal Carter High School in Aurora. I'm also the author of Social Media, which is a book that came out in the spring that talks about leveraging social media for good and celebrates the amazing students who are already doing this. I'm excited to be here to talk to you a little bit about learning menus and choice boards.
Hey, everybody. My name is Larissa Raj. I am a teacher at the Toronto District School Board, and I'm currently on maternity leave, as some of you might know. And so I've been busy taking care of a newborn, and this is kind of my first EdTech step out into the EdTech world. So I'm excited to be here and share. I'm going to talk about digital word walls and dictionaries on Google Slides today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Collins. I'm also from the TDSB. I work in Section 23 programs with our youngest learners, our kindergarten students. Today, I'm going to be presenting on comic strip writing with Google Slides.
Hi, folks. My name is Amit Mehrotra, and I'm a modern learning resource teacher in the Peel District School Board. So my job entails rolling out this fantastic document, our vision document, where we are trying to empower our modern learners and make some changes to education. So today I'll be presenting to you on an idea actually that Eric Kurtz came up with, which is using video mashups in Google Slides, which is a lot of fun.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Filippetti. I am a principal at St. Ignatius High School in Thunder Bay, Ontario, with the Thunder Bay Catholic District School Board. And excited to be part of GEG Ontario. Tonight, I'll be doing a short presentation on creating graphic templates for you to use on social media, mostly for school events. So if you want to put sports scores, other photo collages up to pre-make some things to make it easier.
All right, thank you for introducing yourselves, everyone. I'm just going to turn it back over to Jennifer for a moment, and Jennifer's going to talk about just some of the logistics and how things are going to happen tonight. Jennifer?
Yes, hi. So I am just going to talk to you a little bit about how you can get involved with us, because we really want this to be interactive, and we would love to get your comments, your questions, or even share some of the really cool things you're doing with Google Slides. So if you're watching on our website, which is bit.ly/G small e capital G Ontario, then and we've just posted the link on Twitter, you can watch it on YouTube. And if you're watching it on YouTube, then you can utilize the chat box in YouTube. There are a couple people already on there, which is fantastic. Or you can use @GEG Ontario handle or hashtag GEG Learning Series, and we are going to be taking some of those questions through there as well. So we'd love to hear you participate tonight. So I guess what I'll do is, what do you think, David? Get started with mine?
Yes, let's hear it, Jen.
Let's get started. So I always feel like I'm not doing the most inventive things in the world, but this is something, what I'm sharing with you tonight is something that I certainly use in the classroom. And I'm just gonna find my mouse to share my screen here. And there we go. Okay, so One of the things that really I really value is student voice and choice. And there are different ways to do that, right? But one of the easiest ways to do that is to offer them just simple choices in the kinds of activities that they do. And so that's where I really like the idea of choice boards and learning menus. And the good news is that you look like a superhero doing it, but really it's the simplest thing. So I'm going to try to do this live today, and I'll show you what this looks like. So the difference between a choice board or a learning menu and a hyperdoc, I just want to make that clear right off the bat. So this might be a choice board, the beginnings of a choice board, and I'll show you what that looks like. But a hyperdoc is a doc with links that also allows you to engage in the 5 E's, for example. So engage, explore, explain, extend, evaluate, or the 4 C's. What I'm showing you today is really not that. It literally is a hyperlink with docs, but it makes it very easy to provide choice. So what I have here is just a template. And again, you can find that on our website. I've put title of assignment. Obviously, you would change it to the title of your assignment, and you would put the learning goal because you want to make the learning goal clear to your students. Now, where I have topic, and I was just in a purple and pink mood that day, you can certainly change the color by going to that fill color and change the color of the fill and change the color of the border if you don't like purple and blue. So when I go to topic, I would go insert and a link if I wanted to link it to perhaps a Google Doc that had a variety of different topics. But for this particular activity, I'm actually going to leave it blank because kids can pick their own topic, perhaps, depending on the assignment. Their next step would be that they need to research, and it's really important to plan. So you'll notice here that I've hyperlinked to a Google Drawings storyboard template, and I've done it exactly the way I showed you. I went to plan, I went insert, link, and I added this, this hyperlink, and we'll see how quickly. Yep. So you can use that as a template as well. It's just a very quick storyboard template on Google Drawings. But what I'm going to show you now is how I'm going to hyperlink the tool to the next slide, which has a whole menu of tools that kids can use. So I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to go link. And then you'll notice that it has slides in this presentation as an option. So I'm going to go slides in this presentation, and I'm going to link it to the next slide. And my kids kind of know by now that I hyperlink everything, but you can certainly put it in a box if you want, so the kids know that you have hyperlinked this. And so when the kids go to this word now, it'll go to the next slide. And this is what I've created on the next slide. So what I did was I basically created a table. I went insert table, and then I grabbed icons of each of these tools. So for the first tool, they could use Google Slides with Screencastify. And so I've hyperlinked the Screencastify to the website where the kids can go and use it. I've done that for everyone. So you'll notice Pixton is hyperlinked and Adobe Spark is hyperlinked. I couldn't hyperlink movies because I don't have it here, but you could hyperlink it to the app. I have WeVideo, I have Powtoon, and I have Canva. So this is Metaverse, and it's a really cool tool. So actually, I noticed I don't have Canva linked. So I'm going to grab the link, and I just put it in the box below. And I just went Control-C. I'm going to highlight Canva. And then I can either go insert link, or I can actually right click as well. And of course, when I right click, my mouse is going crazy. I'll try that again. Otherwise, I'll go the other way. There we go. I can also go link from here. Which, see that when you do it live, it actually isn't working. I don't know why I didn't see it. Okay, so we're going to go insert link from here. Sorry, guys. And then I'm going to go Control-V. and that's to canva.com. So I want the kids to go directly to the site, and I tell them to explore a few. But for Metaverse, which is a super cool app that I really want the kids to use for storytelling, because what it does is it's actually augmented reality that meets storytelling. So I'm going to hyperlink to a series of videos. Now, I do this in a variety of ways with my kids. I either will hyperlink to examples and I say to them, go through the examples, and then I will tell them go and find the website. But what I really want for them to do is do some exploration. I want them to play. I allot time for kids to play with each of these tools before they choose the tool. But I also put a you choose in the middle, because I know that for some kids, maybe they have a different idea completely, and I don't want to stifle their creativity. So there's always a free choice in the middle. So that's a very simple choice board that will allow your kids to choose any tool they want to demonstrate learning. So the great thing about our expectations in the curriculum in Ontario is that the curriculum tells us what we need to cover, but they don't tell us how we need to cover it. So when we are giving our students choice, we're allowing them to use their own creativity, their own learning style, for example, and what they're good at in order to demonstrate their understanding of a curriculum content. The other thing I've linked to was actually shared by Casey Bell, and it's a different kind of digital menu, and I really, really like it. So if you go to this particular template, it's hyperlinked to Tommy Spall's presentation. I'm going to take you there now. And what he's done is actually created, in the exact same way that I did, a digital menu that looks like a menu. And he gives you information. He says you can change the link to your own rubric, content, and or site in the way that I just showed you. And here it is. Now, for some students or students with perceptual reasoning issues, for example, this might be a little bit too busy. But for other students, they might love this, right? So he goes with this idea of entrees, sides, appetizers, desserts, and then he has beverages as well. And then and what he's done is he's hyperlinked to another slide in his presentation. So when you actually look at it and you go to Google Slides, this is a presentation that he has created, and the kids would go here, create a slide with their own content, etc. And then in every case, he has a back to menu, and the back to menu is created in the exact same way. So you would go insert hyperlink and you would select the main slide. So in his case, when you hit back to menu, you go back to this original menu. So that, my friends, is the easiest way to allow choice and voice, in my opinion, or in my experience, and that's through learning menus and choice boards.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Jennifer. I really like that comment you made about the curriculum tells us what we need to teach students, but not how we need to teach students. This is a great option for us and to really differentiate how we teach each of our learners in our classrooms. So thank you. So up next, we have Larissa. Take it away, Larissa.
All right. We're not doing questions in between, or do them at the end?
Are there any questions?
I don't know.
Let maybe Jennifer pop in there and see if there's any questions out there, Jennifer.
Okay.
No, she's shaking her head.
No.
We're good.
Okay, we're good.
Right.
Okay,
Cool.
Larissa. So I'm going to talk quickly, just a short little quick tip for an idea you can use in your classrooms for Google Slides. Digital word wall or an online dictionary. So I was having issues with students constantly, because I'm in French immersion as well. It's a constant problem with spelling, and I'm sure for English as well. But basically, having a digital word wall made my life so much easier instead of having it on the wall, cutting, pasting, all that stuff. So I'm just going to share my screen here and show you what I mean by, is it working? You guys seeing my screen?
Yes, you're fine. That's good.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay. So here we go. So we'll start off with I actually wrote a blog post all about it. So if you forget anything I'm saying or want to look back, you can just check out this blog post here. But basically, why would you want to do a word wall? So basically, you can collaborate with your students and invite the whole class onto one document so they can all be involved in the process of adding words to your dictionary. They can be added instantly. So like I said before, you know, if you're a primary teacher and you're doing word walls and all the cutting and pasting, I don't know if you're using magnets or tape or what you use to get them on the wall, but it is constantly you know, a challenge. The other thing is students have access from home or from school, whereas in a traditional word wall, they wouldn't really be able to access that from home. And what I did is I created a bit.ly URL for them so that they could easily access and remember what our classroom dictionary or word wall was. You can manipulate the words, change them, copy them, rearrange them by, you know, alphabetical order or whatever. I had it so mine was constantly visible in my classroom. So I used one of those old, you know, I'm sure we all have one of those old dinosaur computers that's, you know, kind of, you know, you can't really use it for much. So we had it kind of based on just always turned on with the digital word wall or dictionary. So the kids could just get up and walk over and use it that way. Or you could have it up on if you have a smart board or whatever, you could just have it up on there or somewhere easily accessible. And just overall, it's easier. So I just wanted to show you quickly how I did it in Google Slides. I'm going to go to an example here. So basically what I did was I put all the letters of the alphabet on each slide. I'm going to go through how I did it. I'm going to give you a template with a blank one anyway, but I just wanted to show as well just how I did it. So a little trick when you add a slide. So when I add them, I click on this nifty little arrow right here instead of the plus. So then it actually gives you all the layout options. And for my purposes right now, I just need it blank. So I don't need all the mumbo jumbo extra lettering and whatever that I need to erase anyways. So I just click blank. And so there's my blank canvas. And I will first start by going to insert word art. So that's going to give us the nice, you know, traditional bubble letter as opposed to a regular letter. So it's kind of, you can see shade bubble style. So I just move it into the corner there. Like Jen said, you can fill, change the color. You can change the outline of it if you want, make it yellow, and you can even then change the weight of that line to make it bigger. So you can play around with that. The next step would be to insert a table for your words. So for me, I think the best fit is around 7 by 12-ish. Yeah, so that works. So when you go to the crosshairs, when you hover over this blue line, you'll be able to actually move your entire table there. And then you've got, so each box is for one word that begins with B, right? So now you can make it easier on yourself for all the subsequent slides by adding, so you add your next one, and then obviously all of you are familiar with the copy paste, so you would do it before you're writing in any words. So just a Control C and then go to your next slide, Control V, and it actually is smart and puts it in the exact same location on the following slide, which is really nice. So if you want something consistent like this table, it's going to be matched up all along that way. You could do the same with the B as well if you wanted. So highlight it, Control C, Control V, and then when you double click on it, you just backspace and call it a C. Sorry, Shift C and hit Enter, and it will make your C for you. Bold it up. Okay. So anyway, that's how I made my digital word wall or dictionary. Basically, here is an example of a working copy that my students are currently working on, hopefully with my LTO. Anyway, so that's a French version. So anyone, if you want to grab that, by all means, it's on my website. Or I've also, in the initial slides here, added just a blank template. So you don't have to make it yourself, but now you know how in case you want to. So that's all I've got for you tonight. Thank you so much.
That's great. Thanks for sharing, Larissa. Some great ideas on digital word walls. Just a reminder, folks, the hashtag for tonight's learning series chat is the hashtag GEG ONT learning. So GEG ONT learning is the hashtag. If you have any questions tonight, you want to post them to Twitter, and we'll get back to you. So up next, we have Laura, and Laura is going to talk to us about comic strip writing. Laura?
Okay. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about comic strip writing. As soon as I share my screen here, I'll bring up my presentation here. Can you guys see me? Yes?
Yeah, you're good. Good. 2 thumbs up.
Yay. Okay. So I am just going to put this in present mode here, and we're going to get carried away here. Okay, so comic strip writing. I'm one of those people who just needs one tool to do it all. I've heard of Pixton, I've heard of other comic strip writing templates, but I get really frustrated because I don't have time to learn new tools and play around with something different. What I do know is I'm pretty familiar with Google Slides, so I've been experimenting a little bit with and because I'm also a digital fluency chair in Section 23 programs, I'm trying to demonstrate to staff how you could use it in the primary, junior, and intermediate years, you know, to engage students. So some of the examples I have on the far left, those are some things that I've done with my kindergarten students. So basically they insert emojis, and then they put in a little speech bubble, and then they tell me what their emotion is, or they'll use an action word to describe a character. Now, for our junior writers, you can probably write nonfiction reports using comic strip writing or science reports. And then you can get really, really detailed. And I'm going to show you how you might be able to do that with narratives and maybe even doing a math concept. So I'm going to show you an example here of a narrative. So I'm just going to, oh, that's not good. Retry, sorry. And of course, this has to happen when you are presenting. So I'm just going to do this one right here. So this is just an example here of a comic strip that I've put together with animated images, you know, to tell a story or a theme. And students really, really find this type of narrative writing very engaging because then they can share it with others in the classroom, and it's just a more fun and an engaging way to write a story. I am going to show you my other example, and this is the one that we're going to actually work on today, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So basically what I did here is I did a little bit of the stop motion animation. Now, David covered that in our last segment, so if you're not quite sure what that looks like, we'll talk a little bit about that, and I can lead you to the slide deck that he created last time to talk about how we did this. Now, as you can see, these are just a couple of characters speaking to each other simultaneously, and they're actually demonstrating that they understand a math concept there. So that's just a couple ways that you can definitely use comic strip writing with slides. Now, the little animation part that I demonstrated at the beginning of that comic strip was animations with slides, and basically it's just copying and pasting different slides with moving the characters on there. But if you refer to our next or our last learning series, you can go through it more in depth. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the panels and how you might be able to change the background color, because obviously you're going to start with a blank slide deck and you're going to want to change the background. I'm going to put it over here in non-present mode so I can just show you. So you can see that there's a shortcut up here at the very, very top where you can select background, and that will allow you to choose different color options for your slide deck. Or you can go into slide, change background, and then you can select again color or image. That's pretty straightforward. I've also added in a couple of hyperlinks here. There's a Yakimo slide deck from Slides Carnival. that you can share with your students. These are free for you to reproduce, and you can use them to create comics because they're quite engaging. And then there's another comic book template available as well that I happened to come across online that's really good for comic book writing. I also use a lot of the comic panels from freepik.com, and that's also hyperlinked in there, so you can check that out a little later on. Now, in your panels, you'll notice that in that dog and cat one, you'll notice how I have this light blue panel in the background here. That's basically inserting a shape and filling it in. So how I would do that is I would go up here to my shape tool right here. I could select any old shape and then just drag it across the page like that. And then if I wanted to, I could just use this little paint filler and fill it in with any color I wanted. And then I can arrange it, tip it this way, stretch it out, whatever I wanted to do to fill it in. So all panels or all shapes and even text boxes, you can use this filling in feature and change it to any color that you want to adjust the color of your background. So even this text box that I have here, all I have to do is click the little paint can here and I can change it to any color I want. So it's very easy to use. Over here on our next slide, one thing that you're gonna wanna use is transparent images when you are putting together your comic strip. The best images to use are PNG files because they have that transparent background. I've added in a few of these links here to some awesome websites that actually give you transparent images that you can select. Or if you prefer, you can also go to insert from your Google slide deck, and you can either upload from your computer, search the web for your drive, photos. You don't even have to stick to clip art like I did here. You can basically add whatever you want. So it's totally up to you how you insert your images or your characters. Now, speech bubbles, Google Slides has them actually built in. So if you select the insert up here and you go down to shape and tool, this is just another way of accessing the speech bubbles. You can go to the call outs right here. If you go to call outs, you'll see that down here at the very bottom, you have 4 different types. You can select any type that you want, and all you have to do is simply drag it out on your page like that. When you see this little cross icon, you can adjust it, move it anywhere. You can make it bigger by dragging it out by the corners. You can also rotate it by using that little blue dot at the very, very top. And then basically, if you wanted to, you can write something in the inside as well. Also, you are able to fill it in as well. So you can add color if you want. So you can add your details that way. And I'm gonna just move on to the next one here. I'm not gonna play here. Animating objects. So this is a little bit tricky. This took me a little while to figure out because for the longest time I couldn't do it. So I'm gonna actually walk you through. So I have a demo animation that I set up here. I have my 2 characters inserted. They're just images with transparent backgrounds. Right here. I've added in my 2 speech bubbles here. I've added in the text that I wanted to, but now I want them to animate. So this is what I need to do in order to animate them. I need to go to the insert tool up here. I'm going to scroll down to animation. And now you'll see that you have a little menu that shows up on your right-hand side. So basically what I want to do is I want to select the first object that I want to animate. So you can animate all of these in order. So I'm going to select this guy right over here. And as soon as I click on him, you'll notice that he's highlighted because he has this blue box around him. That's the object I'm going to select. And then once I select him, I know that he's been highlighted here. And right now he's set to fade in on a click. But you know what? Maybe I don't want him to fade in. Maybe I want him to appear, disappear, fade out, fade in. I'm going to actually select fly in from the left because that's really cool if he's coming in from the left. The next person I want to appear in is the cat. So I'm going to select the cat. I've selected him. I can tell I've selected him because he's got that blue box around him. I'm going to again click on the select an object to animate because I want to animate the cat. And again, it's already preset on fade in. I'm going to change it down here. And this time I'm going to have him fly in from the right. So I have my two characters. They are animated so far, but I also want to make it look like they're talking to each other and it's more interactive. So now I'm going to highlight and select this speech bubble. I know it's highlighted because it's got the blue box around it. I'm going to select it. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it at fade in. I could choose whatever I want, but you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it at fade in. I like that effect. I'm going to do the same thing for this speech bubble. And it is going to fade in on click. And now at the bottom down here, I can press play and it will do a little preview for me to show me that, you know, how it's going to look. So basically if I play it, now I'm going to just press my space bar. And of course I did it wrong. Great, live demonstration and I did it wrong. So dog, cat, and then what's up, cat? And then he's supposed to say nothing. So sorry about that. I clicked the wrong one up here. So I'm just going to stop it right here. I'm going to, and it's very easy to clear up your mistakes. So this is the one that I made a mistake on. I'm going to try it again right here. Let's start over, retake. And I'm going to click. There's a dog. Click. There's a cat. And click, there's what's up, cat, and there's nothing. So, and that's how you would animate your Google comic strip. And then our last one, this is the most fun part that students love to do. You can extend your comic strip writing. So once they have the whole comic built together, they can actually bring it to life because they can use add-on recording tools like Screencastify, Loom, Nimbus, Capture Quest, any one of these. And if you want to check them out, they're all hyperlinked in my slide deck. And they can record over top of their narration and then they turn it into an MP4 and they can share it either on YouTube or in Google Classroom or wherever they want to. Now, if you want a little bit more information on how to do comic strip writing, I actually did an original presentation for OISE at their technology conference, and I have the slide deck right here, so you can check it out because it's got a few more extra features. I'm sorry I couldn't go in through everything in detail, but if you want a little bit more details, this one should cover it all for you. So thank you very, very much for listening, and we'll take it away. Thanks.
So much potential there, Laura. Those the comic books will look amazing, and you know kids love to create comic books. Yes, so thanks for sharing that. Yeah, they do.
So there is a question from YouTube. I'm just going to bring it in from Ramona. She's asking, is this screencasted slides and the animations, are they stop motions or GIFs? I think you answered that already, but I'm not sure. Can you answer, Ramona?
So for the dog and cat one that I did, let me just go back here to my slide deck. Here, let me find it right here. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. There we go. So for the dog and cat one, this one in the beginning, that's stop motion. That's basically just the mouse being dragged over on each slide just a little bit to make it look like he's moving, okay? For this one right here, for the dragon story, those are all animated GIFs. So basically, I went out online. I found something that's animated because you know what? Anything that glows, anything that moves, anything that does something cool like that is interesting to me. And to my students last year, they would have, you know, they love this kind of stuff. I just copied and dragged it into my slide deck, and it just makes it look really, really neat, especially when you're storytelling. I hope that answered everybody's questions.
Any more questions, Jennifer?
Not from YouTube that I can see. Ramona, just a thumbs up if that is good. So when you find a GIF, if you right click and go copy link address, when you go into your Google slide, you can insert an image using an address. And so that's another way to insert a GIF. Are we calling it a GIF or a GIF?
I don't know. What's the
That's another way to insert a GIF into your slide if you want. So you're right clicking, copying the link address, insert image, and then insert the URL. So I think we're good here on YouTube, so we can take it away to the next one.
Wonderful. Thanks again, Laura. So up next we have Amit. And Amit's going to talk to us about video mashup. So what's up with video mashup, Amit?
Thanks, David. So I'm going to be showing you something, as I mentioned before, that Eric Kurtz has developed. I want to give credit where credit is due. It's a really great activity that he's developed for Google Slides that I've used with a few students and a lot of teachers. So I'm going to share my screen here as well. And let's just go with that. Okay, so I think we are sharing now. And if we take a look here, this is the template that's available on the slides that are on our GEG site. And this kind of walks you through everything that you need to do. And it tells you, again, you're going to put your name down here and your directions, what your purpose is, that you're going to be adding two videos side by side. And then it sort of shows you the steps that are involved to get them playing side by side. Even right on the actual videos slide, you're given the instructions of click insert, then video, and how to do everything. So I wanted to show you a sample of one that I had created here. Again, same slides here, but what I've done is I'm doing maybe a little presentation on sloths and how sloths are really slow. So I get one video that I have from online. So again, to do that, I'm just going to go insert, and I'm going to do video, and my videos, again, can be a search on YouTube, or maybe I know the URL, so I can just put that right in. So I've got my one video on one side on sloths, and then the video that's right beside it is going to be the music that plays along with it. And one of the things that is important to know about inserting videos in Google Slides is you have a whole bunch of video options. So if I click on the video itself, up here I've got video options. And when I click there, I've got a few more things that come up. So I've actually said that I want this video to start at 12 seconds, and I want it to end at, say, 46 seconds. I want it to autoplay when I'm presenting, and I don't need the audio from this particular one, so I'm going to mute that. So that's for this first one from Zootopia. The second one, which is my music, I obviously want the audio, so I'm not going to mute that. I want it to also autoplay when presenting, and I want it to start at a particular part in the song and end in a particular part in the song. So once those are all set and you've saved your settings, then what can happen is when we present, we'll see the two of them side by side. So I'm actually going to unplug my headset here to hope that the sound will work. So hopefully this works, and so I'm going to present that. Turn up the volume here. Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todo mi sentido va pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello. So from there, again, you watch the two side by side, and then when we get to our explanation, this is where the students would write in why you decided to put those two together. So again, there's some sort of a critical thinking involved, not just you're having fun, which is great, but you're also explaining why I would put a song called Despacito, which is about going slowly, next to videos about sloths who go slowly, and show my understanding of sloths based on that. So both of those are available for you on the GEG slides that are available on our website. Again, both the blank template here that you can use, as well as the sample if you wanted to use that one. And yeah, that's about it for video mashups in Google Slides.
That's great. Hey, thank you very much, Amit.
No problem.
I love the music. And I think I saw Jennifer kind of groove into the music there. Yeah, I did deny Jennifer. Yeah, that was you. All right, so we have grand finale. Mr. Filippetti is going to be talking to us about creating social media graphic templates. Take it away, Mike.
Thank you. Big build up. I'll try and live up to it. So I just want to recognize that it's 8:09 in Thunder Bay and the sun is still on the horizon. So we're into the good season here. Okay, thanks, David. And great presentations, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen here. 1 second. Oops, sorry. There we go. Okay, are we good?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so what we're looking at here today, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger and probably just leave it in edit mode rather than presenter mode because we're going to be switching back and forth, is I tend to use Google Slides. If you remember from the first one, we worked on newsletters, and I tend to really use it more as a graphic design program as well. Adobe Photoshop is something that I did use earlier on when I was teaching computers, but Photoshop can be expensive and there is a bit of a learning curve with it as well. And I'm finding that Slides does let you do a lot of the easy manipulations that you're trying to do in graphic design software. So the purpose for this is just creating graphics for social media. More from our school account as well, although I will show you even for GEG Ontario and for something like tonight's presentation, how you can quickly make something and quickly put it into Twitter. So if you see here on this slide, I do have a Google shortened web address. So it's capital C, capital V, small g, small x, the number 2, and a capital F after the goo.gl and the /. So that will just take you to the viewing rights of this social media slide deck. And I've just pulled a couple slides that we have used for St. Ignatius, just to show you some of the things that we're able to do. So this is from Anti-Bullying or Bullying Awareness Day, and they're just some collages that were on there. And we had our school logo ready to go here. And these are just pre-cut templates that are ready to go for score updates. And I'm pretty sure that they're self-explanatory. We have the various logos of the different schools in our district. So everyone that we're playing sports against, we would have their logo that you could just move around and enter in the team name and either update scores while the game is ongoing, and you could change the word final to end of the first quarter, end of the first half, whatever it is that you need to do. Everything can just easily be moved around, and it can be manipulated by using the order. Bring it to the front, bring it forward, send it backward, send it right to the very back, and you can move things around and manipulate them that way. So all of the functionality in something like Adobe Photoshop, where you're layering graphics, can be done quite easily here. I'm just going to bring our image back. There we go. And here are some screenshots. So this is from Larissa was presenting earlier, and I just took a couple screenshots just so we could make our own slide here. The other nice thing that you have is the ability to put borders around images. So just by clicking up here, you have different pixels of borders. You can put something thick if you wanted it to stand out, but something thin and simple makes things really nice. I've already just put these images here just so that we can manipulate things. I'm going to bring that to the front. You can overlap the GEG logo. Again, put a border around it if you want to have some definition. Google Slides is what we're presenting on. And if you remember word art, back, it used to be a bad thing, but I am starting to use it again. Just going to insert word art. You can change your font. You can change your color. It's a little too bright. Now, once you have this, you can change your background if you want. You're able to, a few things. You can go to File, and you can, download as, and you have JPEG, you have PNG, various graphic extensions. You can also save things as PDFs like we did with our newsletter. The other quick thing that you can do, I'm on a Mac, so it's a little bit easier with this, but there are different ways on a PC with your print screen, is I am just going to go Shift, Control, Command, and 4, and it's going to give me crosshairs, and I can just select what it is that I want to copy. And I don't know if you hear the camera click, but from here, I can go right into my Twitter, create a tweet, and I can just paste in what it is that I want on here and quickly send out a tweet so that we can tweet something out. So we use this a fair bit as far as creating graphics. I'm just going to close that up. I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to go through a few of the other ones that we do use. So football scores, after games, people winning different things. These are all set up so we can use them no matter the sport, no matter the day, and you don't have to start from scratch every time that you want to make one. So I hope that that was helpful. That is there for everyone to use further on. And if you have any questions, by all means, send me an email. Take care, everybody.
That was fantastic.
And let me just get off the screen share here.
I see myself on your screen. I'm duplicated. There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Mike. Some great tips there. Jennifer, how are we doing with the questions?
There are no more questions on YouTube. I was just going to add, Mike, I love that. If you don't have a Mac, I use, because at school I use it like daily for my Instagram posts and my Twitter posts. Not as fancy as yours, but Nimbus is an awesome Chrome extension that allows you to very easily take a screenshot of a part of your screen and actually annotate it too if you want. So if you don't have a Mac, Nimbus from the Chrome store is a really good option. And no questions from YouTube.
Perfect. Thanks, Jennifer. Well,
just to add to what Jennifer said, sorry. If you have a Chromebook, it's the same. So Control Shift, and then it's pretty much the middle button at the very top. It looks like a square with two lines. So you don't even need an extension. It's just Control Shift and then that little, so it's a square again with two lines beside it, right in the center, kind of where the F keys are on normal other computers. So Control Shift in that button and it will give you the crosshairs too.
All right. Thanks, Larissa. All right. With that, I think we've come to the end of our part 2 of our learning series on Google Slides. So I want to tell you about some things that are upcoming. So we hope to see some of you at the Ontario EdTech Team Summit, which is taking place next weekend. If you're coming to the summit, please join us for lunch on Saturday. That would be fantastic. We will be sharing what GEG is all about, and we'd love to chat with you about what you'd like to see coming out of this community. Your input is valuable to us as we begin to plan events for the next school year. That's right, we're already looking to the next school year. So grab your lunch and let's chat. So again, that's Saturday at the Ontario EdTech Team Summit. Also, we're hosting a meetup on Friday night before the summit at the Google headquarters in Waterloo. It's currently sold out, sorry, but more spaces may open up as we lead into the summit. So be sure to check out the Ed Tech team on Twitter for updates, as well as any of us. If there's some more room for registrations, we'll certainly be tweeting that out to squeeze you in. Finally, be on the lookout for 1 or 2 more Learning Series events before the end of the school year. Information will be shared on our website and tweeted out by members of the GEG community. So again, thank you everyone for watching. Please spread the word about this community, and we'll see some of you very soon. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.